Now that Nick has completed all of his back office settings, he can start adding his inventory. The first step is creating categories. Then he can add inventory items.
So, Professor Silver, what else do I need to do before I can start using my NCR Silver POS?
The next thing you need to do is add items to your inventory. You'll start by creating categories.
Why do I need categories?
Categories drive the structure of your inventory. They help you easily locate items in the POS, and they also allow you to view sales results of the items in your inventory in the back office. First, let me show you around the inventory screen in the back office. The first page you'll see after selecting the inventory menu is Categories and Items. You can choose to sort this page by category or by item. If you choose by item, the system displays all items in all categories in alphabetical order. You can also use the search feature to search for items, and you can also choose whether or not you want to color code your categories. To create categories, select Add a Category on the left side of the page. Name the category and select which color you want the category to be. Do not worry about the department for now. We'll talk about departments a little later.
Can you give me an example of a category?
Of course, a clothing store might use categories such as pants, shirts, shorts, and sweaters.
Oh, so some of the categories for Nick's coffee room could be teas and coffee.
Exactly. Go ahead and add those categories now. Just remember, a category name is limited to 10 characters. Before we start adding items, we'll talk briefly about departments. Departments are used to organize categories and for reporting purposes. The department sales report evaluates gross sales, net sales, and percent of net sales for each department.
That will be very helpful for analyzing my sales.
That's the idea. Let's take a closer look at departments. Select the Departments page under the Inventory menu. By default, there are 5 departments already set up for you: beer, food, liquor, retail, and wine. But you can delete those preset categories and add new categories as necessary.
I see. So I can use departments to group similar categories.
That's right. For example, you might want to group your coffee and tea categories into one department called Beverages. To do that, select Add a Department and name the new department. Then you can add categories to that department.
That seems easy, but Professor Silver, Nick's coffee room doesn't sell any beer, liquor, or wine. How can I remove those departments?
To remove a department, select the department, then select the pencil icon next to the department name. Then select Remove. Okay, now that your categories are set up, you can start adding items. There are 2 levels of item setup: Basic and Extended. We'll start by talking about Basic first. To add an item, select the category of the item you are going to add, then select Add Item. When the dialog box opens, you'll notice that the category is already selected for you, but you can change it if necessary. Next, give the item a unique name. This field has a 20-character limit, so you may have to abbreviate longer item names. Notice that availability is automatically selected for you.
What does that mean?
The availability setting allows you to decide if the item is active at the POS or not. For example, you may have inventory items that are seasonal. If that is the case, you can uncheck the availability box until the item is available to sell.
So even though I don't sell my pumpkin spice latte all year, I can still add it to my inventory database and then only make it available to sell during the fall.
That's right. The next field is the sold by field. You can determine if you want to sell by item or by weight.
That's a really useful feature. Customers are always asking if we sell the coffee beans we roast in-house, and now we can.
Finally, you must set the item's sale price and tax category. The tax category is preset to the default tax category you selected when setting up your taxes, but you can change the category here if necessary. This is how a basic item will appear in the POS app after you create it.
Professor Silver, what do I type in for the sales price if I sell a cup of coffee in 3 different sizes and each size costs a different amount?
Great question, Nick. That is part of the extended item setup, which we will talk about next. When you select extended item setup, several new options will appear on the page. Variations and modifiers allow you to customize items at the POS, such as selecting a different size beverage. We will talk about those as well as pricing, cost, and taxes in the next course. The other options available under the extended item setup include description, which allows you to add a longer description of the item. The description appears on customer receipts. Barcode, which allows you to assign unique barcodes to each item. Barcodes are great for stores that sell a lot of items because you can scan the barcode instead of searching for the item in the POS app, and the item is added to the ticket. External ID, which is used to cross-reference values for integration between Silver and external applications. Printer group, which is used to determine where, in addition to the receipt printer, a POS ticket will print. We will talk more about printer routing in another course. And primary vendor, which allows you to select the primary vendor of the item. Adding basic items to your inventory is quick and easy with NCR Silver. Start by creating categories and then add items to those categories. You can also ask your Silver Concierge specialist to create your database for you.
Nick has just seen how easy it is to add inventory to his back office database. He can add categories and basic items. Next, he will learn how to customize those basic items using variations and modifiers.